Hello and welcome. Come meet me on your mat for this Pilates Inspired Yoga Class. So today's practice is going to be weaving together some Pilates style movement as well as some yoga poses. So we're going to find a really nice balance of stretching and opening tight muscles as well as finding some strength in those stabilizer muscles. So when you're ready, come meet me on your mat. When you've landed on your mat, we're going to start in a tabletop position, all fours, hands and knees. So when you do make your way there, find some time to land your shoulders above your wrists, your hips above your knees. Really traditionally, we're going to start in some cat-cow. So an inhale is going to arch your back, your chin will lift up to the sky. And your exhale will round your spine, you'll tuck your chin, you'll tuck your chest. Find a few more flows like that, just finding a warm up for the spine. Inhale to arch, exhale to round. 3 more with your breath, finding the connection of breath to movement and awareness of yourself landing in your body. Feeling the sensations of the articulation of your spine and dropping in to the here and now. Nice. Come back to a neutral spine on your next breath in. Really plug down through the palms of your hands. Find a flattening of your lower back towards the ceiling and a hugging of your belly inward. The shoelace side of your foot is flat onto the ground, so dig your toenails into the floor. And then with an inhale, plug down so much that you can just float your knees an inch away from the mat and pause there. Turn the fleshy inner bits of your elbows forward as you lengthen your spine forward and you hug belly button in. You're containing the front ribs. Full breath in. On your exhale, control your lower of knees to the mat. And we do that a few more times. Plug down, lift your knees from the floor, hover and pause. Full cycle of breath in, out. Another inhale. Lower, controlled, exhale, knees to mat. Breathe in. Float the knees. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Lower, control, breathe out. Inhale there. Last one, float the knees, flatten your lower back to the ceiling, take a full cycle of breath. Good, plug down, inhale. Control the lower, exhale, knees to mat. Whoo, beautiful. Bring big toes to touch, widen your knees, sit your weight to your heels. Child's pose, just give your arms a little bit of a break. Turn the palms of your hands towards the sky, bring your pinkies to touch. Try and flatten the back of your hands to the mat as you roll the palms open. Good. Come back forward to tabletop position, all fours, hands and knees. A quick downward facing dog. Tuck your toes under, lift your knees from the mat, let your hips tilt up and back towards the sky. Give your heels a pedal one at a time to the floor. Just bend one knee and then the other knee. Find some length through the back line of your legs. Come back to stillness, soft bend into your knees. And take the next inhale, pick both of your heels up and away from the floor. Come to your tippy toes. As you exhale, bend your knees and just hover them to the mat as you float in this tabletop position. Downward facing dog, lift your knees, drop your heels. A few more like that. Lift your heels. Lower your knees to this hovering tabletop, shoulders above wrists. Flatten your lower back, and then pick up your knees, hips to sky, heels drop. A few more. Lift the heels. Bend your knees. Exhale. Lift your knees, downward dog. Heels to floor. Breathe out. 2 more. Find the segment of the movement. Inhale, heels lift. Exhale, knees drop. You pause to hover. Inhale, knees lift. Exhale, heels drop. Last one. Pick up your heels. Bend your knees. Pause to hover. Inhale to rise. Exhale, heels drop. Breathe in right there. Walk your hands to your feet. Exhale to a forward fold at the back of your mat. Just let yourself hang. Give your arms a break. Wow. You might circle your wrists. You might hold opposite elbows, but find this nice dangling sensation. If you were holding opposite elbows, just float fingertips to floor. Soft bend into your knees. Just round your way up towards stand, bone by bone. We're just going to stack. And then as you breathe in, sweep your arms out and up as you look up. And as you exhale, hinge from your hips and fold back down to your mat. Halfway lift, breathing in, lengthen your spine. Exhale to a high plank, bend your knees and walk your hands forward, shoulders above your wrists. Find length on your inhale, hold the high plank. Knees to mat, bum to heels. Exhale, child's pose, soften your arms. Take the next inhale to stay and exhale to sigh out the mouth. Move to tabletop when you're ready, all fours, hands and knees. Good. Find that imprint of your lower back to the ceiling again. Hug the front belly in. Your ribs are contained. You're going to send your right leg long back behind you. Flex your right foot. And then balance so you can float your left hand forward and you're elongating out both side waists. So you're reaching your left hand forward. You're pushing your right heel back. Your option is to stay and hold or find this movement slow and controlled. You would round elbow to knee on your breath out. It's a crunch at center to pause. And inhale to lengthen, expand forward and back. Good. For 4, crunch and round, hug to center. Lengthen on the inhale. Slow and controlled. For 3, elbow to knee. Pull forward and back. Elbow to knee, crunch and round. Forward and back, lengthen. Last one, crunch and round. Lengthen on the inhale. Pause there. Keep your right foot floating, but place your left hand to the floor. Donkey kick your right heel up towards the sky and start to pulse your heel up and down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kick your heel up to the sky, pause, hold. Rotate your right knee out to the side like a fire hydrant pose. Extend out through the right hip, a 90-degree angle in your right knee. And then you're just going to close the inner thighs together as you lower your right knee to the floor. And then you kick your right knee out to the side like fire hydrant pose. Yeah. So lower and lift for 4. Using the abductor hip muscles for 3, you lower to adduct and out to abduct. Nice. For 2 more. Keep the hips level, using the strength of your glutes to lift and lower. Last one. Pause on the lift right there, and then breathe in, push your right heel back, lengthen your spine, and as you exhale, crunch your right knee to your outer right shoulder. Push your heel back, extend back, crunch your right knee to your outer right shoulder for 4. Push back. Pull in for 3. You're evenly weight distributed between the hands. Your bum muscles are turned on. Shoulders are square. Hips are square. Take the last one here. Crunch your right knee forward. Extend your right heel back and pause. Cross your right ankle behind you. Look over your left shoulder as you tuck the right toes under. Reach your right hand to the top left corner of your mat. Dip your nose down as you find this really nice side body stretch. Push out through the right heel. Sway over to the left with your hips, with your head. And then on the inhale, lift yourself up, both hands under your shoulders. Float your right foot from the mat. Keep your right leg straight as you swing your leg out and around and you tap your toes outside of your right hip. Pick your right toes up, swing it up, back, look over your left shoulder as you cross. 4 more. Swing it up and over. Tap to the right, keep your leg long. Swing your leg up and over to the left. Tap as you cross. Look at your toes behind you. Whew, for 3. Big, wide semicircle of your leg up and over, using the strength of your glutes the entire time. For 2. Staying balanced in the hands, square in your hips. Last one, to the right. And up and over to the left. Good. Come back up through center. Float your right toes behind you and pause. Keep your right leg long as you tuck the right toes under on the mat behind you. Modified side plank. You're going to stack your right hip on top of your left. Swing your left heel behind you. And then add your right arm up and over your head to hold in your modified side plank. So bottom left knee is down. You're plugging down through the bottom hand. You're lifting through the waist, reaching up through the top hand. I want you to take your awareness to your right side body. Stay strong on this side as you just try and start to lighten the weight of your left hand on the floor. That might mean you come up onto the fingertips of your left hand and you plug down more into your right foot. And then find so much weightlessness into the left hand that you can actually float the entire left fingertips away from the mat. And you are flexing into your wrist as you hold for 5. Hug the side body in for 4. Spine long for 3. 2 hips forward with 1. Slowly rise up to a gate pose. Right arm reaches down your right leg and your left arm arcs up and overhead. Hips moving forward, left side body long. And then the movement here next is really slow and controlled. We're finding strength in our side body as we windmill our arms up and over back to that modified side plank initial starting position. Lighten your left hand on the floor. Breathe in, arc your way up and over to gate pose. Right arm down, left arm up. You have 3 more like that. Float left hand to floor. Keep it really light. And then right away, pick yourself all the way up, gate pose, lean to the right. A few more, left hand down. Strengthen the side body, rise your way up. Good, last one, come down. And then lift up. Really strong. Come all the way back down, modified side plank, left hand to the floor. Right hand to the sky. Float your right toes from the mat, push out through the right heel, and then reach your right fingertips long out in front of you so your upper arm bone is in line with your ear. Side body crunch, your right elbow pulls to your right knee as you try and tap the 2 above your right hip. And then you extend long and open, push your heel back, reach your hand forward. For 4, try and bring your knee closer to your elbow and then extend long through the side body. Good. For 3, contain the front ribs, control the movement. Move with your breath. You have 2 more. Side body crunch, extending long and open. Last one, side body crunch. Extend long and open. Pause there in the length. Right foot is floating. Place your right hand on your hip. Lower and lift your right leg for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep your right leg floating. Add your right hand to the sky. Breathe in. Look down to the mat. Square hips and shoulders off. But keep your right leg lifted. Point your toes behind you. Breathe in. Bend your elbows so you lower chest and chin to the mat. Kick your right heel to the sky. Push up as you crunch and round. Right knee to your chest. Good. Lengthen. Inhale. Bend elbows. Lower. Exhale. Push up. Breathe in. Crunch and round. Breathe out. For 3, lengthen. Bend and kick. Lift up. Crunch and round. 2 more. Lengthen. Bend and kick. Push up. Crunch and round. Last one. Lengthen. Bend and lower. Elbows are tucked in. You push up. And you'd crunch right knee to your chest. You round. Last time, lengthen forward and back. Breathe in. Place your right knee underneath your right hip. Child's pose. Bring your bum to your heels. Forehead to floor. Soften the elbows. Let your forehead meet the mat. Take a few slow breaths. Just finding some resetting and some awareness of the sensation and the work that you just did as we take a mindful moment between sides. When you're ready to rise back up, tabletop position, all fours, hands and knees. So same thing as we start, you're hugging the low belly in. Your low back is flattening to the ceiling. And then you send your left leg long back behind you. You flex into the left toes. You stay balanced as you extend your right fingertips forward. And then you're extending forward and reaching forward through your right hand as you plug back through the left heel. Lengthen on the inhale. Crunch and round on your exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen forward and back, slow and controlled. For 4, crunch and round, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen forward and back. Crunch and round, hug the belly in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crunch for 2. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crunch, last one. Find length on your inhale, pause. Keep your right or your left foot floating, place your right hand to the floor. Bend your left knee so you donkey kick your heel up towards the sky, and then start to lower and lift your left knee as you kick your left heel up and down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kick your heel up. Circle your left knee out to the side like a fire hydrant pose. Lower your left knee to the ground so you close the gap between your thighs. Kick your left knee away from you. Good. For 4, lower and lift. Stay grounded, even weight distribution between the hands, using the strength of the outer hip muscles to kick your knee away from your hip every time. Your hips remain level, your spine remains long, you're still breathing. You have one last one right here. Kick your heel out to the side, roll your right heel back up towards the sky, lengthen the right toes behind you, And then cross behind your body to look past your right shoulder. So your left toes are tucked under. Reach your top left hand to the top right corner of your mat. So you just take a nice side stretch here. Let your hips sway over to the right. Let your left side body lengthen. Push out through the left heel. Keep your head and chest low to the ground. Slowly raise your way back up. Tabletop position, both hands underneath your shoulders. Float your left toes from the mat and lengthen your left leg behind you. Keep your hips square. Side body crunch, you pull your left knee to your outer left shoulder. Squeeze to the side and extend it long back behind you. Good. For 4, crunch to the side. Keep your knee high. Push your left heel back as you extend long. 3 more. Keep your core engaged. Stay grounded in the hands. Level in the hips. Nice. Last one. Crunch to the side. And then extend it back. Keep your left leg long. You're going to swing your left leg out to the side. And you're going to tap the left toes outside of your left hip. Lift your left leg back up. Swing it out and around. Over back behind you. Cross behind you. Look past your right shoulder as you tap. Float your left toes up. Swing it up. Over. Keep your knee high. Tap the toes to the left. Pick the toes up. Keep your leg high. Swing it back and around to the right. Nice, you have 3 more like that. Keeping the strength of the glutes, the stability of the spine. Breath is still there. Nice, last one. Beautiful. As you complete that last one, float your left toes behind you, extend the spine long, tuck the left toes under, keep your legs straight back behind you on the floor. Modified side plank, swing your left hand up to the sky, stack your left hip open, and then kick your right heel behind you for a little bit of extra balance in this kind of kickstand shape. Take a moment, lift through your side waist, extend through your top hand, contain your front ribs. Plug down so much through your back left foot that your right hand starts to feel a little bit lighter on the floor. You tent the right fingertips on the mat. Slowly, you hover the entire right hand from the floor. You're still leaning to the right side. You flex your wrists. You're holding in the strength. You're holding in the length. And then with one big inhale, you use the strength of your side body to raise your chest up to gate pose. Your left arm is long down the left leg and your right arm reaches over to the left. There's length in the right side body. Your hips are moving forward. And then we flow like so. Lift yourself up, control your way down, just float the right hand from the floor or tap down. Use the strength of the left side body, raise yourself all the way up, over, lean to the left. Nice, all the way, windmill up and over. Left hand down, strengthen the side body. Right away, pick yourself up, over to gate pose. Lean to the left. Sway to the right. You have 2 more, slow and controlled. Raise your way up. Sway to the left. Raise your way up. Sway to the right. One last time. Use the strength of the side body. Come all the way up and over. Lean. Come all the way up and over. Ground through your right hand this time. Float your right foot from the floor. Reach your left hand up. And then extend your left hand forward to the top of your mat. Side body crunch. Bring your left elbow, your left knee together above your left hip. Extend forward and back. Hips move forward. Good. Crunch. Exhale. 4. Lengthen. Inhale. Beautiful, so strong for 3. Keep the front ribs contained, the front body strong, the side body is working, the hips are working, the movement is controlled. If you're shaking, I promise you're doing it right. You have 1 more. Keep the flow. Extend long. This last time, pause in the length. Keep your left foot floating. Bring your left hand to your hip. Raise and lower your left foot up and down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift up, look down, square hips and shoulders off. Keep your left leg floating. We're almost done. Point your left toes behind you. Lengthen your spine. Look forward. Bend your elbows, lower chest and chin to mat and tap. Kick your left heel up. Push up. Crunch and round your left knee to your chest. Lengthen. Inhale. Bend your elbows, narrow to the side body. Exhale. Push up, breathe in, crunch and round, breathe out. Lengthen, inhale. 3 more, bend, exhale. Push up, crunch and round. Keep the control, keep the slow motion. 2 more, elbows bend, narrow to the side body. You're pushing up with strength. You're crunching with strength. You're lengthening on the inhale. 2 more. Good. Last one. Kick long and lengthen. Place your left knee underneath your left hip. Child's pose. Big toes touching. Knees are wide. You rock bum to heels. You ground yourself down. Just notice. Take a few slow breaths. And slowly you'll lift head and chest back up. Sit your bum onto your heels. Knees are narrow. Hands on thighs. Take a big breath in through your nose. Let a sigh go out the mouth. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice, and I hope to see you soon.